Alright, today's lesson on law is how medications, side effects, and law all have a role to play within any given individual's criminal history. Please forgive me if it looks like I'm squinting and messed up I'm not. And please forgive my hair, it's a wreck. Alright. So, anyway. Alright, so I got starting off question, y'all can take notes, do whatever, this is for medical professionals, this is for law enforcement, this is for law schools, this is for, whoever wants to join. But, don't take my word for it because I ain't got a degree a degree in law or medical or, whatever, okay? Just know this is one individual's view. So let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to start off by saying every single pill has a side effect. Each and every last one of them. Now see, if each and every pill has a side effect, then that means there's things that pill could cause, right? Alright, so you got someone who actually takes something that causes hormonal changes and sexual change, stuff that can, boost the sex drive. Well, they get arrested for prostitution, okay? Not thinking they have more than 4 people in accordance with the Prostitution Act, which is actually an act. The Prostitution Act, not bill, but act. And they have more than 4 people. Should they be held liable if it's a side effect of the medication? Now see, if they do this willingly, no medication, no nothing, just say, I don't give a crap. I don't give a crap about the law. I don't give a crap if prostitution says I can only do 4 people at a time. I'm going to have 15, 20 people over and have an orgy. Guess what? This is where things get hairy. Because if someone who's non-medication is doing the same thing, but the people that don't only do this, well, they do it too. How come they don't get punished? Because this is side effects of medication. See, there's a difference between being influenced by medication and doing this knowingly, okay? Now, it's sort of like driving under the influence of alcohol or driving while intoxicated. See, now, everyone knows that alcohol slows your mind, slows everything, right? But see, though it's legal, there's still a legal limit. It's not very much. I mean, you might be able to take 1 or 2 sips of a beer and drive, right? Well, point of the matter here is that it don't matter how well you drive whenever you're sitting there and you're having all these great experiences after just taking 2 sips. If you sit there and drink 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80 beers and then get behind wheel, it's essentially the same thing as the side effects of the medication. You willingly took them beers. And see, this is the technicality that people who don't have to take medication and gets busted for prostitution is going to try to utilize. I can almost guarantee it. I can almost guarantee that most of these women, most of these men that go out have a darn good time. It's going to be trying to get people like that's on medication because they think it's unfair that their number has been cut down. But if someone on medication does this, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying slam run free. I'm not. But I'm also not saying, just throw them in jail and throw the book at them like someone who knew what they was doing. Maybe they had seizures. Maybe they had this and this. And it's so raunchy on how prostitution works. See, before handlers and stuff was taken out of the equation, do you know what happened? Rape, sexual assault, torture, torment, mental anguish, forced conversion, forced addiction. You had all these tiny little things that built up to build a nasty little picture of what a sex addict is capable of. But see, thing is, with the Prostitution Act, this really cuts down on the handlers. 4 people at a time. 4. See, but all right. So, anyone who knows their times tables, and see, I know this is going to be targeted towards adults, so I expect y'all to be able to type the answer in to the comments. Okay. Now you have 16 rounds at 4 per round, okay? That's 64 people within a day, correct? Well, see, this is the thing, though. I mean, even if you sit there and you say, well, I did 4 people at a time, but see, it don't register. This shows how bad brainwashing when it comes to sex addiction is. The Prostitution Act, yes, I have to admit, has its perks. You still get to do your due, have your fun, and be like, oh well, I can't stop thinking about them. But it's not about that. No. Just put a huge damper, a huge hole in how human trafficking industry has to approach how they handle their victims. And I'm drop dead serious on this. It put a huge hole in how they had to approach and treat their victims. See, but in allowing prostitution, if y'all don't believe me about the Prostitution Act, go to congress.gov. But see, whenever you sit there and you have everything that you could dream of, every man, every woman, that, yeah, it seems fun. But what happens whenever you prove that you're only bound to the physical pleasure, not the person? But see, every time you experience something new, you're going to be thinking about that person whenever you deal with your next client, and your next client, and your next client, so on and so forth. But, thing is, see, it's not so easy whenever you have to understand and take hold of something and become cold-hearted, just to protect yourself. But see, free agents, you can't do, you can't do prostitution by handlers anymore. You can't. If you could, do you honestly think that you would see as many? Whenever you decide to take your clothes off, whenever you decide to sit there, take your clothes off, do what you gotta do, and then put them on and leave. See, this is on the prostitute. This is not on a handler. Because, see, whenever you're forced into it, see, this is where charges can be pressed. This is where prostitution has become, more of a legal thing, but yet, how many states are actually going to abide by this act? The human trafficking industry has taken a massive hit. Now see, now I'm going to show you the difference here, okay? Now see, I want everyone watching this video pull out 2 sheets of paper, 2, okay? Now see, on both sheets, I want you to put down, just like that, on each sheet, okay? Demonized and sane. Demonized and sane, all the way down that sheet of paper. It could be lined paper, it could be even so much as copy paper. I wouldn't care at that point. However, so for every time that I mention something that's sane, I want y'all to put the word sane on there for the next minute to 2 minutes. Every time something could be demonized, something that could be demonized and pushed into insanity, and potentially a criminal act, I want you to sit there and I want you to tear a small piece off, put it beside you. And the worst it can be, tear a bigger piece off, put it aside. But then if I mention something that could rupture from that big thing, rip that up until you have hardly anything. Now, see, alright, so here we go. Time starts now. Alright, so, you got support, you have honesty, but you also have rape, murder. You have disloyalty, you have distrust, you have a brutal verbal assault, brutal sexual assault. You have, you have peace. You have peace whenever nobody's around, right? But yet, you also have human connection. See, this can swing either way. Now, see, how can we handle this one? Based on who you are, decide what sheet of paper to put that one with. See, also, see, I want y'all to think about this too. See, with all this, this leads to polygamy, which polygamy in itself, can swing either way, alright? See, if you're sharing, you're with someone who don't give a crap, that's full-blown demonized polygamy. Which, demonized polygamy is the forcing of one's will upon another without the well-being of the other person in mind. While polygamy is dating multiple people with their well-being, physical, mental, and emotional well-being within mind while you are with them and doing right by them. Alright, so now see, every time y'all alright, now that I've mentioned all of that, okay? Now I want y'all now for the next 5 minutes. Now do this while I'm talking, because now see, I want y'all to pull 2 more sheets of paper. Okay? And I want y'all to start looking at everything that y'all thought about. Write those down first. Everything that y'all tore off the demonized piece of paper. Now, I want y'all to keep in mind that this also means, it also means that, see, just because it's ripped apart doesn't mean it's not a sheet of paper. Yeah, it's still a sheet of paper. Look how torn up it is by the time we get done with this example. See, that was only part one of the example I'm giving. Alright, so anyway, now see, these side effects of medication, see, it's not just sexualized side effects. It's not just hormonal changes. You got aggravated assaults that occur from outbursts of anger, fits of rage. You got medicines that cause you to be delusional, and then see, it could cause a anger outburst that hit land you in jail. You have psychosis. Some medicines do cause this. You got depression, which could land you in a psych ward. But see, if you admit to a criminal offense, what's going to happen? More than likely, they're going to call the cops. I've never done this. At least in the psych ward. So I wouldn't know for sure on this. So don't quote me on it. I might be a video professor, just to get my thoughts out there, just to get my view out there. But don't take this as a college course. And then, with this, see, how many times can we sit there and say, oh, wow, I wound up and cussed a man out. Do you know what that is? Here in the state of Texas, it's known as verbal assault. Verbal assault. So if I was to look at the man in front of me right now, which I'm not turning the camera to show him, be like, hey man, F you, burn in hell, and have no reason for this. Would this be classified verbal assault, or would this be classified trying to get him to straighten his life up? Now, see, it'd be one thing if he came up trying to hit me, assault me, and all this, right? See, according to law, though, see, verbal. If you break the law, you break the law. There's no way around it. But see, if you have to break the law in order to stop a lawbreaker, see, this is one technicality, though, that, where these side effects could actually be utilized and keep you out of jail. But see, thing is, if you know what you're doing, technicality is not easy to live on. Technicality is not easy to live on. And if you think technicality is easy to live on, then you have no idea. Because see, to be adaptable and adjustable, you got to know exactly where to jump to get through. Be on the border of out of bounds and in reality. If you travel that black line on the basketball court, are you out of bounds? No, but are you really supposed to be traveling the black line? No. But is it called? No. See, but see, in life, see, these side effects, see, this is where people with medicine need to be able to get into the military. But can they? Especially psychiatric medicine? No. Because they say, well, they're mentally ill. They won't be no good. See, you got so much anger built up inside you. Put them on the special forces, or put them somewhere where their anger can be utilized. Help them learn that they don't need the medication. Help them to see how to control their anger without having to mask it or show hostility because of whatever. Fact of the matter is, side effects of medication don't mean anything unless they have caused you more pain than good. What could cause all the pain and suffering of a single person? It's very simple. What could cause this pain and suffering is the fact that these doctors just want to make a quick buck slap you on anything they can think that may help you. But do they really take the time to get to know you? See, the reason I say side effects are so demonized is because the police and the doctors, okay, really don't care about side effects. The doctors want you well. The doctors demonize. The doctors want you well, and the police only see a criminal whenever a side effect goes wrong. And this is my point in case. Whenever you're whenever you're sitting there and you're taking everything into account, take into account what side effects they're taking when you're taking someone to jail, or when you're trying to give them a diagnosis, or what side effects they were having. Whenever, whenever they came in, because this could be the difference between pseudo diagnosis and not. Thank you.